What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and this is gonna be my first impression and the stat speculation of the Halloween banner this year. We already saw the leak of this a couple of days back. I also made a video on this. So in general, I'll be giving my thoughts on these units, the skills that they have. In general, these seasonal banners do not have any kind of spark system, so be wary of that. But if you do have any of your favorites in this banner, then you could definitely try to go for them, because overall I feel like the units are quite solid. It's just that they are not anything too crazy meta influential, which is fine in my opinion. So the first unit that we have is going to be Male Robin as a colorless armored dragon. He's also a werewolf, just like female Grima from last year, and his art is just top tier. So he's going to be near saving Crom here. He's got Moonstrike Breath, which gives him -1 special cooldown, making Noontime and any kind of 2-turn special into a 1 cooldown special. If he's within 2 spaces of an ally, then he can get +6 attack and inflict -6 attack debuff on the foe during the combat. And if he deals any kind of damage using his special, then he can heal up 30% of his max HP. So this kind of weapon is extremely easy to trigger, because when you're using your near save skill or any kind of save skill, you're going to be adjacent to an ally, so this weapon is always going to be active. And the fact that it can give him extra attack and bulk is really fantastic, and the healing is the cherry on top. Ideally, you do not want to use stuff like Noontime with this kind of weapon. You want to use Glimmer or just, run Bonfire with Steady Breath. I think that's definitely a better way of running Male Grima. He's got Sturdy Stance for giving him that guard effect, Slick Fighter for the debuff neutralization, and finally he has got Attack Resistance near save. This is of course not as good as Attack Defense near save, because most of the melee units are physical. Resistance only really matters against a couple of common units like Saros, Muspel, Nifil I guess. And it can also be useful if your dragon is running Dragon Wall, so the extra resistance can help you. But overall, attack defense near save is going to be better. So overall, I feel like Halloween Male Grima is a pretty solid unit because of being a colorless unit. And he has got overall neutral matchups against a lot of the melee threats like Legendary Seeker, Saros, Note, Otter, which we're going to be seeing a lot, especially in Aether Raids. So he has got a neutral matchup and can definitely tank those kinds of units. You only have to watch out for like Brave Erica and Brave Alm, and I guess most of the near save armor units have to watch out for them. So I can see him being a pretty solid one-off copy unit who can function pretty well as a near save unit, because I think that he's going to be having a pretty nice stat spread, which is going to be giving him mixed bulk. So this is my stat speculation. I think he's going to be having high attack, which is given for a Grima, and he is going to be having mixed bulk and pretty low speed. We are in Gen 6, so he's going to be our first 190 BST armor unit. So yeah, he's pretty good for arena scoring as well, and in general he's a pretty solid near save armor unit, getting that healing, having that guard effect in his base kit, having that debuff neutralization, and can also get access to special acceleration with the simple Steady Breath Sacred Seal, so that he can basically retaliate back with high damaging bonfires. I do like Male Grima and what he brings to the table as a near save armor unit. His base kit is really good right outside of the box, so he can work as a one-off copy. And then we have got Witch Rhea. I thought she might be like a flying mage or maybe a staff unit, and clearly here she has got a staff, but she's actually a green infantry dragon. And I believe the last one that we got was many years ago in a Drift female Korin. So yeah, there's not too much competition for her in this category, and overall she's going to be a solid unit in this category as well because of Witch Breath, which gives her +3 attack, and if the opponent's HP is above half health, then she can get +6 attack during the combat, and she gets an auto follow up. And if her own HP is above half, then she can inflict -6 attack debuff on the opponent, and she also gets the follow-up negation, so she's going to be stopping the follow-up attacks. Her playstyle is pretty similar to Saros. Saros had to use Mirror Impact in her base kit to get that follow-up negation in the player phase, but Witch Rhea doesn't really have to do that. Ideally, you want the opponent of Rhea and Rhea herself to be above half health, and then you'll be able to get -6 attack debuff on the foe, +6 attack to Rhea, and follow-up negation and auto follow-up, and of course the standard adaptive damage. This weapon is helpful because Rhea is going to be pretty slow, just like Saros, and she's got Attack Resiliency and Dragon Wall in her base kit, making her a top tier fodder. And with her high resistance, she can of course get a lot of bulk with Dragon Wall, and she doesn't really have to rely on quick riposte or anything like that to get the auto follow-ups. So her slot B is quite open to just run Dragon Wall, and then you can just get the healing from Mystic Boost Sacred Seal if you want to run that. Here she's going to be triggering her iceberg. She actually transforms into the dragon. I like the accessory on her. And from the iceberg damage, we can calculate her resistance, and then we can go from there, calculate her attack with this combat. So I think she's going to be pretty similar to Saros, just a few points more than her because we are in Gen 6 and she'll be at 182 or even 183 BST, I feel like. So that is Witch Rhea, extremely popular unit that I'm sure many people are going to be pulling for. And then we've got Kurthnaga, which we also saw in the league, and he's the 4-star focus unit of this banner as expected. So he is a red infantry dragon with Lantern Breath as the inheritable breath. This is an extremely good breath for any kind of dragon that doesn't have a preferred weapon, and even the ones that have preferred weapon but got like early refines like Adult Tiki, this is still gonna be a really fantastic breath. So this breath is always active in the enemy phase, but if you want it to be active in the player phase, then the opponent needs to be above 75% HP. So it's basically like a mini Spendthrift guard breath. So you can get the attack increase in the combat, attack debuff on the opponent, and also inflict them with the guard effect. Unlike the Spendthrift bow, there's no drawback of this kind of breath, like it's not going to be giving you penalty on your special cooldown, so that is pretty good. And guard effect is really amazing for any kind of slow unit to prevent the special charges of the opponent. And most of the dragons are going to be on the slower side, so if you have Halloween Anna or maybe Adult Tiki, Bantu, stuff like that, then you can definitely try to give them this kind of breath, which is going to be extremely unique and can help them in their tanking role. For getting the guard effect, you basically have to run the stand skill in slot A or run the guard itself in slot B, but now it's going to be present in the breath, so you can run distant counter, unity skills, stuff like close defense 4 pretty easily on your dragon. So I really like this breath. And then he has got Even Pulse Tie. I really hope that this is present in 4-star rarity because it's a really good fodder for taking care of legendary Sigurds with pre-charge, Quicken Pulse Special, legendary Lilina, and of course the recently received Otter. So Even Pulse Tie is pretty good for its utility. And then he has got Dragon XP. I cannot believe we're still getting those skills in 2021. So here they're going to be basically showcasing the Even Pulse Tie. I actually don't like this showcase because for Lantern Breath in the player phase, the enemy needs to be above 75% HP. With the AoE special, you're reducing their HP, so you don't even get any effects of Lantern Breath. So I'm not really too sure who made this showcase for the trailer because it doesn't showcase his weapon, the main thing which he gives as a fodder in action. We do see stats of Kurthnaga himself here. He's basically pretty competitive with Halloween Anna, but of course he takes orbs to +10 instead of grails, and many people have invested into Halloween Anna as it is. His stat spread is pretty balanced for a no preferred weapon dragon, nice balanced mixed bulk, workable attack stat. And then we move on to the main duo unit of the banner, which is gonna be Halloween Sothis. So she's of course sharing this with Male Violet. So she's got Eerie Scripture, which gives you -1 special cooldown, making Sirius into a 1-turn special, and she also has the immunity against any kind of dragon effective weapons, which is trademark of Sothis of course. She's also got distant counter built into this weapon, and she can get +5 to all of her stats. So this weapon basically gives her the distant counter skill, freeing up her slot A skill, and then she's got Sirius, which scales off her speed and also restores some HP to herself. So it's nice for self-sufficiency, and because she's got distant counter in her breath, she can just run attack speed solo 4 here, and she's got a new skill in Dragon's Wrath. So this is basically the combination of Domain of Ice and Domain of Flame. So it gives you the damage reduction on foe's first attack by 20%, and then it gives you the true damage on your first attack by 20% of the difference between your own attack and the resistance of the opponent. So overall, I feel like this is a very niche option which not a lot of dragons can run because this is mostly best used on dragons who are fast and also have high attack stat. So I guess you can run this on the flying blue dragon of last year, Halloween Tiki as well. So it's a good option for Sothis too. And then she's got attack speed rain. We do see her stats, and this is her stat spread with 183 BST. Quite well-rounded stat spread, I guess, for bulk, attack, and speed. Her attack is, I guess, a bit on the lower side on 36 for a dragon, all things considered, but still she gets the true damage out of the slot B skill, and she also gets the extra bulk with the damage reduction and the +5 to all of her stats. She basically lacks any kind of like null follow-up or penalty neutralization. So those are the things which she's lacking as a tank, and flying units do not have access to it as it is. But Speaking of null follow-up, she basically gets that from her duo skill. So her duo skill gives you null follow-up and time pulse. And keep in mind that this null follow-up is actually speed dependent, which of course makes her into a pretty fantastic mixed phase unit. And she can also get the time pulse to pre-charge her Sirius, and that can also help you charge up the specials of your allies. This is of course not going to be helping too much in Aether Raids where duo hindrance is just so common, but in any kind of other game mode, she's going to be having fantastic time. And this is also a reusable skill on every odd turn, making it a really fantastic support duo skill. So overall, she's a solid unit with her high speed, the damage reduction, and the duo skill null follow-up that she can get. And this encounter in her breath can also open up the other slotty options, which you can run. You can definitely run the cat skill, I guess, if you want to just have a premium slotted skill over the solo skill. And here she's going to be using her Sirius, and that is going to be the banner. We actually do know the Tempest Trial unit this time. The league didn't have it, but compared to all of the predictions that many people had, including me, we didn't really get that. So we have Blue Mage FLIER Sophia instead. So she is a half mana Keat, which does make sense for this kind of festival with all of the dragons. And a Blue Mage FLIER is definitely pretty unique. We don't have one in the Grail pool. The only free-to-play Mage FLIER that we have is a Versa, which we got 3 years ago. And we do know the base kit of Halloween Sophia. Her weapon is absolutely fantastic. It is basically the same as Kurthnaga, having that mini Spendthrift effect and guard. But this weapon is extremely good for slow blue tanks like Halloween Ileana, which I'm sure many people are getting with the Pharma Soul, and also Sonia. So the guard effect is really nice because you can run Mystic Boost Sacred Seal to get the self-sufficiency, which you're going to be missing out if you're not running Pack Blooms. And this is definitely a really fantastic inheritable blue tome along with Pack Blooms Plus. Gives us a nice option, and we also have Attack Res Form on Sophia. Sabotage Resistance is also present, but we already saw that on Solon before, so it's not the most unique skill, and I feel like Sophia is going to be valued a bit more for her slotted skill and also her weapon. So with her base kit, it does suggest that Sophia is going to be a slow mage FLIER, probably with high resistance and a bit better defense than most of the mages, so we'll have to look forward to that. I'm actually pretty excited for Halloween Sophia and her inheritable weapon because it's such a nice option. I really wish that red tomes could also get some good inheritable options that are present in the Grail pool. All of the good red options are just present on 5-star luck seasonals, unfortunately. So let me know what you think about this banner in the comment section down below. I'll be eager to hear that, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and a comment, helps me tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, then you can always support me directly by becoming a YouTube member or by using super thanks down below. I want to thank all of my YouTube members, and if you want to see more FEH videos, then make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as the hopes of people expecting Nasir, Rajion, or even Adult Tiki as a Tempest Trial unit. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.